checks in at running back. Ground and pound. Barry just gets that inch we did not have prior. 2nd and 7. They look for a pass down the sideline, which we will leak everyone out. Get this one out to Boston, and we tried to squeeze it. Not a smart choice. Throw, but he was not quite looking as McCullough doesn't get the sack there. How? And Jamison Williams into the end zone. Coverage coming across. We've got Boston, and he sheds and into the end zone. At least at the 46. And there comes the sack. It is away. Centimeter line. They go with a stretch. The backup checks in and going here. You got Boston towards the sideline, and it comes up short left. We send the blitz. It's Stockton picking up the sack here. Chuba Hubbard has some space, and he pops it in. About a 42, or they were at the 42. Coming across. It's picked off. That is Stockton. Just need the snap, the hold, and the easy kick. We extend our win streak, but boy, oh boy, did we leave that one way too close. The Lions, they could smell the victory. And following that game against the Lions, that was just all too close. Shout out Stockton, who got that pick. Help us set up the game-winning field goal in Ford Field with a Ford. That's just a pun just built into the game that I love. But it was a interesting game. It was very much like playing against a mirror image of ourselves, because these two teams very similar. But we go to continue our NFC North tour today as we play against the Packers. Now, unfortunately, we did suffer a pretty big practice injury. Chuba Hubbard will be out this game with a turf toe. Barry has stepped up plenty enough before, and I am perfectly comfortable with him being the starting running back going into this one. Now, the Packers, they're not having a necessarily good year nor necessarily bad year. They are under 500 right now, 4-6, but they could turn things around. Vikings holding on to the North. As a Vikings fan, you never fully trust it until that final week's whistle is blown. But Packers, they're fighting to get back to the top of their division, just as we are. If we could pull off a win here against the Packers, and if whoever the Falcons end up playing today lose, then we have them next week. And if we could pull off that win again, then we could find ourselves sitting atop the NFC South. But we can't get thinking too far ahead. Gotta focus in on today's game, where we're going up against a rookie quarterback in Garrison Hurst. He's out of Georgia, 6'4", 233, though he's got some decent speed to his game. 82 speed, pretty good throw power. These short accuracies, really solid, almost a 90. He's got some deep. Medium is his least accurate, but overall still pretty solid starting off spot. So they may have their quarterback of the future. As for running back, they have another rookie, a really good rookie draft class for him. Carlos Montgomery, not their old Montgomery who played at Stanford. Instead, Montgomery who played at UCLA. Though they also have Jalen Warren, that should be a pretty good 1-2 punch. At receiver, Amari Cooper in 87, then Jaden Reed in 86, and Christian Watson only has gotten up to an 80 in his 5th season. Though they did re-sign him, George Hightower rounding out that group. At tight end, Luke Musgrave, a 77, getting to the trenches. Bakhtiari holding strong here in his 14th season. He's an 86. At left guard, Jenkins, a 91. That's a really good left side of the offensive line. Really good still at center, JT Meadows, third-year player, 80 overall. Right side, they finally dip under 80 with Runyon, who's a 79. And then they finish off with Teddy Beckham, a 76 left tackle. Though they do have a depth guy here in Ricky Stromberg, who looks like maybe he could see a little bit of some playing time as well. As for the defensive line, Kenny Clark still here with them, an 85. They also signed Okoronkwo, who's a 77. Opposite side, another rookie who's an 80 overall. How many early first-round picks do these guys have to have? Tracy Andrews, an 80 overall. Down the middle at DT, BJ Hill, a 79. Then Keenan Duke, second-year player out of Georgia. Left side, Rashawn Gary. Opposite side, Blake Cashman, more of an off-ball linebacker. So we'll see what they do with the edge rush. They also have Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean. As for the secondary, they just have Jair Alexander left from that original group. David Edwards, second-year corner out of Colorado, an 80 overall. Then Cam Smith, fourth-year player, out of South Carolina, a 79. Free safety, they got Blankenship, an 84. Strong safety, they got Trent Nelson, a 77, who is playing over Jartavius Martin, who is a very similar overall. All together, this is kind of, I would say, a slight step down from the Lions, though the record is better, so I still expect them to put up a pretty good fight. But as we learned from the last game, as long as we stay in control of how we have to run our offense, how we run our defense, then we could have fantastic games. That's how we beat the Cowboys, the Chiefs this year. But when we get out of control, that's where the Lions nearly sneak away with a win. So let's right the ship from the beginning, play well, play smart, and let's get some big plays going. Now let's get this one underway. As McLaughlin boots it off, we got Murray set back to return, and he will take the knee in the end zone. That will send the offense out. Bryce Young and Barry, the main guy, is going to be in the backfield today. Though hopefully we don't spend too much time in that backfield as we start. We're looking for Barry to get us going here. Now hopefully today the audio levels are back as Barry, great run, find the cutback lane, their gain of 9. But as I celebrate that play, I'm looking over on the left-hand side. I see audio levels for in-game, so it should be back. No idea what happened last game. Hopefully what I've inputted in actually ended up sounding pretty decent. Do definitely let me know just for future reference, as Young finds Thomas there for a nice first down. Again, we want that running game to suck down the defense and then try to get over the top. That's where we found a lot of success for us. As Young just looking to scramble here. Kenny Clark showing he can still move. Bumps us out after a gain of 15. And while I love Chuba Hubbard, don't get me wrong here, he's played fantastic for this team. I kind of feel like the offense runs a little bit more as it's supposed to with Barry as he breaks off a 7-yard run. Quay Walker drags him down. But we really start to see a lot more of that power with a little bit of the verticality, as we're pretty much looking exactly for that here. Faust, the rookie, he's going to come in motion, essentially go on a wheel as we go to the play action. Got to roll out, get this out to Faust. He has some space, puts a little juke, but little juke was not enough. Gets us down inside the 10, though, for goal to go. And of course, last time out found out he is a superstar receiver, and I am super excited about that. Though we go with the toss, follow the blocks, and Winters doesn't have to touch anyone, nor does anyone touch Barry. We walk in for the lead at the end of drive 1. Just a perfect way to get this game going, as I'm actually kind of excited to see what the Packers have here in Hurst. 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions as a rookie. They start with a run just to gain a 2 to one of their other rookies in Carlos Montgomery. And it really seems like the Packers have just essentially hit the reset button for their team, getting a whole lot younger, as that's a pick play if I've ever seen one. Luckily, it wasn't an accurate throw, but they definitely found a way to get some guys open. The legality of it? Questionable. 3rd and 8, they go with an empty set as McCullough gets a blitz. Here he comes, missing the mark, but he forces the throw away. It works nonetheless. That's a quick stop from the defense. And with that, our offense can go right back to work. We start at the 32 with number 33 looking for his run. Down the middle, lowers the shoulder. Will pick up about an extra yard or so through contact. Not that a gain of 6 on first down is anything not to be happy with. As we change up the look on second, a little bit of an RPO dialed up, and we will keep that one with Barry. We'll maybe pick up an extra yard or 2. That'll still leave us needing a couple more here on third. We got another RPO dialed up. See if we can get Thomas to the outside or just hand it off. Barry looking for the cutback and powers through, picking up the first down. Now that's just not something we're going to get with Chuba Hubbard. Great in his own way, But speaking of great, look at the right side of this defensive line. X Factor superstar. They might have themselves a pretty good team in about a year or so as we put that one up for Faust. It's Jair Alexander who gets there first. Though it looks like Faust not too happy with maybe a little bit of a push off there. Hard to exactly say, but as we come out with 2nd and 10, they've got everyone sucked down to that right side. So we're going to go a little bit of some play action. See if we can get Bateman to the left-hand side, and we will. He holds onto it, first down. Packers defense make it a little too easy to make that play call change as we got 1st and 10 into plus territory. Going back to a little bit of some play action. Coming across is Faust, but again off the mark for him. So far, the only inaccurate throws have gone Faust's way. The only 2 incompletions as well. 2nd and 10, go back to the run game. Barry down the middle, trying to power through the safety. Slows us down, 3rd and 2. But I am pretty comfortable with our short down and distance game here. We're going to go right back to Barry. Get the blocks, good jobs from the guards and center. Double team to backer. However, that guard that did it, shaken up in Max Clifton, though. He helped up the running back before he left the field. If that's not an offensive lineman, I don't know what is. Great team mentality there. 1st and 10. We come out with a bunch to the right-hand side. Boston lone to the left. See if we can get a good cut, which we do. Put it to the sideline, and we've got to work on that coming in a lot higher. Edwards able to get back underneath it. He makes the play, leaving us with a 2nd and 10. Now we got the RPO dialed up. Safety walking down the left-hand side. Could open up both options as we swing it out for Chenault. Well, no, the safety didn't blitz. Instead, he just blew up Chenault. Blankenship showing why he's actually a pretty decent safety. Now we got Cooks coming in on this right-hand side here towards that front pylon. Or we can get Chenault over. Actually, no, that's Bateman over the top. We've got good options downfield. As not enough time to get rid of it. Well, accurately at least. Pass rush shows up, and instead we'll have to settle for the field goal. Ford steps on out his first kick here of the game. This one from around the 47. We'll get in between the uprights. And it'll be a pretty simple way to take a 2-score lead. 10-0 as the Packers head out for their 2nd drive. Starting in the pistol, send their receiver in motion. They take the jet sweep. That's Amari Cooper, who's not going to get by that first round of the defense. Maybe a gain of 1. And you can credit the tackle there to Stockton, who has come alive the last 2 games. Gotta love to see it. Was essentially our defensive captain from last year. Started the season off pretty slow, getting well into form. As they go back down the middle, Stockton there to meet Warren. A gain of 4. That will send us to the end of the 1st quarter where we have ourselves a nice lead. Like to make some big plays and potentially get the ball right back. Oh, that's going to take a stop here. 3rd and 5. We get some quick rush. Get in the face and knocking away. Great job intended for Watson, but Newsome tips it away. And just like that, the defense does get the stop. Now, offense, just keep the momentum going here. We start bunch to the right-hand side. Gonna flood the field or just step up, make some space here for Young, who will not split the 2 defenders, but pick up a nice gain up to midfield. Now, could he have just slid down? Be the safer route, but he tried to make the big play. We come out here with an empty set. Half-back screen, not exactly how we intended to run that one. In fact, that was supposed to be a wide receiver screen to the other side, though we threw it at the running back. Hence the switch up there. 2nd and 10 here. Faust in motion. Gonna fake the jet sweep to him. Get Barry down the middle. Try to run through the defender. Not much. About a gain of 1. And Kobe Dean does well stepping down there to get the stop. Bringing up 3rd and 9. I feel like this is our first 3rd and long we've had today. Going in with the halfback screen. Just needed the block, but Dean is there again. Loss of 2. And this time we will have to punt. But I'm just waiting for the Packers here to just let Hurst go. I feel like they're really containing him to start this game. Just going with a lot of just more simplistic plays. Gain of 2 for Montgomery. But I do feel like with the ratings we saw, I feel like Duke could rip it. 2nd and 8, just let him take a shot downfield. Instead they go back to the run. A bad step there from Hodgins opens it up for Warren to pick up the 1st. And that's really all the game plan has been. It's a couple short throws, but mostly just getting the ball to the running back. They have a good group there, but maybe also let your rookie quarterback make some plays as he throws a beautiful one there to the tight end. Gets him up to midfield. I mean, he threw one bad ball at the start of the game, but that one looked a lot more impressive. Not a tight spiral by any means, but just put it where it needed to be. Now they go with a quarterback-designed run, and he's going to pick up a nice gain of near 20. Guess they're just letting the young guy get used to the flow of the game, and now maybe they are opening it up. They're down to the 29, get a bunch to the right-hand side. Looking for a throw. They find their target, gain of 8. And after a 1 of 4 start throwing, now up to 3 and 6. So a much better drive here for the Packers, just outside the red zone. They got 2 tight ends on the left-hand side, 2 receivers. They flood, send all the guys to the left, and Shepard makes the big play, touchdown saving play. I mean, literally he got there the last possible moment. That should have been a touchdown. Instead, it is a 3rd and short, and Hodgins meets him in the backfield. Montgomery, loss of 1, will be a 4th and 3 at the 22. And honestly, that's why you shouldn't go with too many fancy runs. Just a simple run play there might have done it. As Johnson nearly got around the edge, he dove to block it, and he took out the kicker instead. So that will give the Packers a free set of downs. Honestly, if the guy is diving and you haven't kicked the ball yet, if he hits the kicker, maybe it shouldn't be that much of a penalty as they go back to their tight end. He makes it goal to go at about the half-yard line. So clearly, they want to get their tight end well involved. But here I imagine they go with a run. Down the middle, Hodgins met him again for another loss of at least 1, maybe 1.5. The dude has been just thriving in the new defense this year. 2nd and goal. Can he continue to make some plays here for us as they go back to the run? No, that time the Packers O-linemen, they overpowered everyone. We sent the blitz, and they had plenty of room to walk on in. But they do give us the ball here, just shy of 2 minutes left, and we've got a pretty good 2-minute offense as Barry, a little bit slow to get going there, only is going to pick up 1. So talk about having a good offense, then get basically nothing on 1st down. Got 3 to the left-hand side. See if we could flood the right side. Pass rush, getting back there quickly, and solid tackles on the outside. We'll say the linebackers have been flying around in this one. 3rd and 11. As we are going to look for a little bit of a throw off the play action. Can we deliver a clean ball to the open receiver? There we go. That time, accurate ball for Faust as we flip the field. Now let's just try to keep that pressure up here. Double A gap look for the Packers defense. That's going to put a safety man-on-man. Or we could try to get it out to Chenault, who is open, but no open way to throw it. Andrews and company arrive pretty quickly. 2nd and 10. They're still walking down the safeties here. We got to make them pay for that eventually. Halfback screen. The safety came down and just wrapped up, or maybe it was even the linebacker. But whoever it was, they just came in and wrapped up Barry. Didn't allow him to even go out on the route. That's one way to defend against the halfback screen. As we need to pick up the 1st down here. Young just looking to scramble. Will be 4th and 2 at the 30. Packers call the timeout. And while we could easily just go ahead and take the field goal here, kind of want to go for it. We got Kenny Clark to the left-hand side. Hard count, no one jumps. Just need the 1st, and we open up plenty of lanes for the 1st. Down inside the 20 at the 17. Can we get back to the line quickly here? Try to catch them off guard. Gonna flip the formation. We have all of our timeouts, still around 20 seconds left. Try to get Boston towards that back right pylon. Suck down the corners on the outside. That should open it up in the flat, and Boston brings it in. Young placed it where only his guy was gonna get it, and that's another touchdown inside the 2-minute offense. And that's just a great way to cap off what was, for the most part, a pretty dominant showing in that 1st half, despite it only being 17-7. We really took control. Defense, they didn't allow much outside of 1 drive. Overall, a great showing based off of the 1st half we saw from last week's game. Gotta love to see it. What I don't love to see is the Saints doing well whatsoever. They're 2-8. I would love for them to be 2-9, though they're up 10-0 against the Browns right now heading into halftime. As for a second matchup, rivalry game here, Giants taking on the Eagles, and it is all Eagles. 24-7. Hurts 2 touchdowns compared to the Giants in Zerma, 2 interceptions. But as we finish off our halftime report here, checking in on the Vikings, who are playing against the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers are currently up 17-7. Vikings struggling, though neither one of the quarterbacks doing necessarily a whole lot. But as we get dialed back into our game here, it's the Packers who start out on offense. And I'm very curious to see what offense they do start with as they try to stretch it Montgomery. A good bit of power there in that run. Makes it actual decent game. We saw Stockton flow pretty quickly to the outside. He read it, just wasn't able to get him down that quickly. 2nd and 6 as they look to go with another read option. And there's the tackle for a loss, not sacked this time. McCullough doesn't come up empty. But all in all, a huge sophomore campaign for him. Really bouncing back from a lackluster rookie year. 3rd and 10, chance to get off the field once again. It's tipped away by the helmet of Musgrave. Thank you for joining the defense here. We'll get off the field. Now let's get our offense going again here to start this second half. We're going right back to Barry. We had problems with the linebackers in that first half, and Dean shows up rather quickly. So what to do here with this linebacker problem? Well, we're going to have to force them to work a little bit extra here. RPO time. Hand it off, throw it outside, or we got the slant. All different options. We'll stick with the handoff. Barry down the middle. A strong run, though. A little bit of help from Dean there at the end. That's an extra 2, maybe 3. Though apparently he doesn't like being told that. Gets into a little bit there with Barry, and we're going to send them right back at each other. Run the same play, though. Now they crash on the run. Get it out to Chenault. Not much of a stiff arm there. Clean tackle from Blankenship. He's actually put together a pretty decent game there at safety. Keeping with the same look, though, looking for a throw. Got some underneath options. Got some down the field options. As eventually got to get rid of this one, or no. Young decides to just pocket it. It's a big loss. 3rd and 21. That's Tracy Andrews showing up once again. And he's their X factor. They already have plenty of other good options, but they add another as he shows up again. Can we block the young guy, please? Will be a punt from us. So the second half begins really all defense. We get the stop. Packers now get the stop. Packers offense now back out. They start spread. They'll look with a run. And Warren going nowhere. Hodgins not only showing that he has plenty of speed, but strength as well. Dusting off those biceps. 2nd and 10, no gain. Now with a weak pistol set here. Hard count, no one jumps. Looking for a throw. They will swing it out to their running back. And a solid tackle there by St. Just. Really haven't had to call his name much at all today, and honestly that might be a little bit of a good thing considering his struggles the past few games. As they go with a pass, we got to get back downfield as Musgrave, this time instead of knocking it away from his team, picks him up a 1st down. We definitely bit hard on that play action. Everyone was just anticipating the run. 1st and 10, they swing it out wide. Mari Cooper not going to go very far. Cash, quick tackle, gain of 5. But I would like to get in the face a lot more often here of this young quarterback. See how he does under pressure. As it's immediate pressure, he's forced to roll out, and he finds the edge. We don't contain. He scrambles, sliding down safely. Well, I would say he definitely won that play. That's really exactly what you want to see from a young quarterback. Stay cool, find the space, and make something out of it. And that he definitely did. Read option, Tracy Edwards. Great stop on the outside. Did I say Tracy? Is it Tracy or Taylor? I don't know. I need to go back and learn my own rookie's name. But I can now confirm it is Tyler Edwards. Great play. Maybe now I won't forget the name as I go with the stretch following and going nowhere. Edwards back involved again. Now, if we could just see him make that same level of play in the passing game, that would be great. 3rd and 12, they will look to throw across the middle, diving to knock it away. No, they say Musgrave caught that one. And I decided to take a second look at this, but quick action, hard to tell, but slow it down here. I wasn't that far off. St. Juice does dive. He swats it out of the hands, but as they come crashing down, the ball drops into that left hand of Musgrave. It is a completed catch, 1st and goal. I mean, just how unlucky can you get? Well, let's see what we can do now with that fresh set. As they go down the middle, Montgomery will pick up his 2nd easy walk-in touchdown, drawing this game closer. Well, there's really not much more we could have asked there from St. Just. Just unlucky is now our offense. We've got to get going here. Only up a field goal now as we look to get Barry going. He finds some space to the outside, tracked down from behind, but he picks up the 1st down. 14 carries, 87 yards for him. Again, putting together another solid day's work. As we got time for one more play, get down the middle. Barry will push forward there at the end. A gain of 5 will send us to the 4th quarter. Crunch time here. And honestly, do we even start the hydraulic press offense early? With some of the quick play we've seen from this Packers defense, that might be needed. As we go with a toss to the outside here, just find a lane, stick the foot down, and it just gets us back to the line. But we're definitely going to need more than that on 3rd. 3rd and 5 at the 43. We come out with 3 to the left-hand side, 2 to the right. Look to see if we can get Bateman right across the middle, and that should be an easy pitch and catch and a 1st down gain. Now, shockingly, that's actually only the 10th completion for Young today. 10 of 18, so a little bit of some worry with that. We swing it out to Barry. He will tack on an extra 2 through Blankenship. I guess as long as we're still moving the ball downfield, doesn't really matter the limited amount of completed passes. As we have another RPO dialed, we will hand this one off. Barry down the middle, pushing through, still another solid run. Gets him over 100 on the day. But it does very much show the different style that this offense really runs when we do not have Chuba Hubbard. Still successful, we've seen that today, but just not as many plays to the running backs outside of just handing it off as Young scrambles for 7. And honestly, maybe it's a little bit more of a simplistic offense. But again, even if the simple works, perfectly happy with that. Let's look for a little bit of some play action. Young having to scramble. Can he find his tight end? No. Instead, he can find Andrews, or was that Gary? They split the sack. We find ourselves yet again a little bit behind the chains here. 3rd and 8. Got 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. We're going to look for Barry on the halfback screen as we got plenty of blockers out in front. Try to utilize those blockers as it's a big block from, I can never remember who we traded for, the guard, but he decleated someone. And that makes it twice in this game. I've had to check my roster in the middle of it. It is Richards wearing number 60. He's actually been a pretty good trade for us, and with Walker Little in a contract year, might have already found his replacement. Though we're still a good distance from the end of the season, and hopefully with playoff football on the horizon, it extends a little bit longer. And a bunch to the left-hand side here. See if we could find Chenault. No, they actually blocked that up really well, and Young takes a couple shots there. Kenny Clark gets half of it. But that is honestly a fix for a problem that we had with turnovers. We just told Young stop forcing things. Instead, he's taking the sacks in this one. And we haven't had any of those turnover problems yet. As Dean gets the sack, Boston was breaking open. But with just over 3 minutes left here, you've got to take the field goal, plus it's 4th and 27. So it makes that decision pretty easy. Ford will extend our lead to 6. Now we just need our defense to keep doing what they've done all day today, and that is just simply not make things easy on the young rookie quarterback as they finally find Cooper for a decent gain there, 9.5. And Hurst continues to sit just very comfortable in the pocket under pressure. Maybe we need to get a little bit more pressure on him and not leave tight ends wide open. That time Edwards. I'm just switching up all these names today. I'm pretty sure we don't even have an Andrews on our team. It's 1st and 10. They're in plus territory now. As they come out with a heavy look, though, looking to throw out of it. They get it out to their second tight end, who will bring it in and send us to the 2-minute warning. This is a drive they must end in a touchdown. Field goal really does not help them out at all. Though for us, a field goal I feel like would be a little bit of a win as Watson gets his first catch and gets him out of bounds at the 31. Well, we've sent a lot of things at Hurst today. Man, zone, blitz, no blitz. Continue trying to shake things up here as they go with a halfback screen. As they get Montgomery to the outside, he shakes one. Not going to get by the second in Hodgins, as well as Stockton helping clean up. But while Montgomery probably has a decent fantasy point game today with the 2 walk-in touchdowns, he really hasn't done a whole lot. As they go back out to their tight end, he's got an angle and he gives them a lead. Inside of 2 minutes, extra point would put him up by 1. Just 3 good drives is all the Packers have had today on offense, and that is good enough for the lead as now we are chasing a minute 21 left in the game. We've struggled getting our blocks today, but we got Faust. He's sitting wide open, and just like that, he takes a good shot there at the end. We are essentially in field goal range. We'll say Faust has continued to pop up and make the big plays we needed from a wide receiver too, and makes it a lot easier with our decision to move on from Mingo as Barry now shucking off some tackles. Wow. Apparently I need a good nap getting towards the end of this week. 1st and 10 for us. Clock not moving. Packers took a timeout as we look to get Barry back to the outside. He does find a little bit of a lane. Not going to juke by Blankenship. Second timeout call. Well, the thing is, we have 2 running backs. Haven't used both of them today, so let's bring out the rookie in ball. Let's give him a carry late on in this one. Right down the middle. Solid run. We'll give him a few more here. If he wants to pop off for a touchdown, by all means, but all we need is a field goal as we go back to him. Solid run again. I'll just let him continue to cook behind some lead blocks. Gonna motion out Winters this time as clock getting closer to that 30-second mark. Get a little bit of a stretch to the outside. Well, we did stretch it. The 48 was sitting there. So we got time for one more play here to just set it up for Ford. So we'll look to get it right down the middle. Good job there from Ball. We'll call a timeout with a second left, and let's go find a winner. Now, it is 2 weeks in a row that we've had to rely on Ford to get us these wins when really our offense should have taken care of business. But Ford will do it. For a second straight week, we kick a field goal as time expires to get a win against the NFC North, continue our win streak. But the offense, we slowed down majorly there in that second half. The pass rush was a huge problem for us. The linebackers, they did a great job in slowing down the run game, and honestly, we probably should have won a little bit more with that run game. But that win was huge because it puts next episode as the game to possibly take the NFC South away from the Falcons. It'll be our first game against them. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Meanwhile, we've rattled off 6 straight wins. Last 2 have been too close for comfort, but a win is a win, and whatever way we could find it against the Falcons, that's going to be key. Against the Lions, we struggled to stop a running back focused game plan, right? But then against the Packers today, I felt like they really started a lot with focusing on the running backs, and we took that away quickly. We then put it on their rookie quarterback. He did look good. I expect some big things from him. But with the Falcons, we know that they have Bijan Robinson. They like Robinson. They want to go his way often. Outside of him, well, Pitts is their only real other guy that they've targeted heavily. So if we take care of both of those guys, we got ourselves a path to victory. And if we continue with the good parts we've seen from our offense, we can handle their defense. But it did occur to me that we haven't really talked about the stats so far this year. We are the 10th ranked offense, 5th ranked defense. So by far, this team has come a long way since our early struggles. Bryce Young, only 13 touchdowns so far this year, 6 interceptions. Completion percentage, just over 60. Would like that to continue to get higher. As for sacks, he's been dropped 20 times this season. And rushing-wise, Chuba Hubbard, he and Barry are actually very close. Barry actually has more carries, mostly just due to the consistent injuries Chuba Hubbard seems to be having right now, though his average carries are fantastic. So is Barry's. Both 4 or 5 touchdowns. All in all, really happy with the running game. Receiving wise, it is the rookie in Madison Boston who leads us in receptions and yards and touchdowns. Bateman is the only one close to rivaling him, who actually gets more per reception by a good chunk, but average yards per game, a little bit underneath, touchdowns a little bit less. The rookie in Madison Boston, who would have thought? Faust also well climbing, him and Bateman also very similar. So a very young receiving group for us is looking very promising. As for the blocking, it's not been a particularly great season for us. A lot of sacks have come in, especially in that last game. A lot of pressures at the minimum. Need them to step up their pass blocking. Defensively, Stockton leads us in tackles, 61, though Hodgins very closely behind. And we just have not seen much at all from Hartwell this year. He has really just not done much. Even though we've been in a good amount of base packages, we have the 52 defense, and he's just not out there for the 52, so his playing time is just not very high right now. As for tackles for a loss, Hodgins leads us with 14, Stockton with 11. How about sacks? Victor Dimukeji, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he actually leads us while he filled in for McCullough's injury. McCullough right behind him now, 5.5, so way better season for him this year than last. Owe is at 4.5. Stockton has 2.5. How about interceptions? 4 for Newsome, 2 for Stockton and Cash. Not looking all too bad there. And Cole Ford, 100%. But next game is going to be the big one. And that is really what the last 6 games have all been leading to. We had to pull ourselves out of an early hole. Injuries became a problem, but we fought through and we started to make the plays. We got the upset win against the Chiefs. Got another nice little win in between that and then the Cowboys upset. But it all comes down to this. If we cannot get the win against the Falcons, it's not like the season is over, but that's really what this has been for. To get us into the spot where we could try to reclaim top of the NFC South. So that is going to be a big one next time, which should be out on Monday if I have my days correct. Do not miss out. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tip that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. As mentioned, Monday, we also have Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. 4 videos in this series every single week. Plus, we started the new state-only challenge or states-only challenge in Kentucky and Indiana. So do not miss that one. It's been a pretty good start. And the next episode of that will be out tomorrow. So do not miss 6 videos every single week, and one of the biggest ones, I feel like maybe a little while here, at least for this series. We take on the Atlanta Falcons next time for the lead in the NFC South.